2020 has been a trying year for, well, everyone that has lived and breathed. It goes without saying that most of us have been yearning for some sort of comfort, whether it be now or the future. The last few years have really solidified this sentiment with a growing attachment to 80s nostalgia. Sometimes it's easy to just shut off our brains, relive those silly nostalgic moments, and forget about everything else. What better way to do it than silly fight tournaments, corny teachings, and predictable 80s bad guys? The 1984 film, The Karate Kid, is that nice slice of predictable entertainment, quality characters, and just a cheesy good time. The rest, well, that's a story for another time.
Aside!
I hate it here!
No. Mr. Miyagi, please tell her she's gonna get hurt.
Eddie.
Thankfully, we don't have to journey too far back with the awakening of soft reboots. Franchises can now elevate their game by introducing new characters with the old, familiar character arcs with fresh ones. Today's Lost and Found focus, Cobra Kai, is an excellent use of the soft reboot. The thematic idea for Cobra Kai first appeared in the 2007 music video for the pop rock band No More Kings. The song, titled Sweep the Leg, starred Karate Kid villain Johnny, or actor William Zabka. Zabka would go on later to talk in a 2010 interview that in the context of his own vision, Johnny was actually the good guy, not Daniel LaRusso. This was later something well discussed throughout pop culture media.
The Karate Kid is the story of Daniel, a violent sociopath who moves to a California town and begins tormenting a local boy and his friends. Johnny is a high school senior with a commitment to atone for past mistakes and move his life forward in a positive direction.
No, ex-degenerate, man. 8 a.m. tomorrow, I'm a senior. I've got 1 year to make it all work.
Further movement about a sequel of sorts appeared on the hit CBS show How I Met Your Mother.
Sure is a big poster of the Karate Kid above your bed.
Hey, Karate Kid's a great movie.
In the episode, the character of Barney yells at Ralph Macchio and states that Johnny is in fact the real hero.
You actually root for that mean blonde boy?
No. I root for the scrawny loser from New Jersey who barely even knows karate. When I watch The Karate Kid, I root for the Karate Kid, Johnny Lawrence from the Cobra Kai dojo.
Zabka also made an appearance at the end of the episode as a clown. Full series development began in August of 2017, with 10 half-hour episodes to be written and produced by Josh Heald, John Hurwitz, and Hayden Schlossberg. The last two would actually be credited as writers and producers for the Harold and Kumar films, as well as the Lost and Found gem, the 2018 film Blockers. The series was pitched to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, and AMC, all of which passed on the idea. The series would ultimately end up on the subscription service YouTube Red. The first 2 episodes of Season 1 for Cobra Kai were released free and went on to score a total of 5.4 million views in the first 24 hours. Reports from YouTube stated the first episode was viewed well over 50 million times. According to the research company Parrot Analytics, the first season was the most in-demand streaming television show during May of 2018. The success didn't stop there, with over 86 million views on the second season. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, YouTube decided to not greenlight a third season. On June of 2020, the show was officially moved to Netflix, where it became the most watched streaming show in the United States for a solid 2 weeks. During this time, the show's 20 episodes scored nearly 2.2 billion minutes of streaming. That's a lot. The third season is now set for a January 2021 release. Cobra Kai is set 34 years after the events of the original Karate Kid, this time not following the film's central protagonist, but the villain, Johnny Lawrence. Johnny's point of view remains the focal point throughout the series as he decides to reopen the famed Cobra Kai dojo, as well as his intense rivalry with now successful Daniel LaRusso. I must admit, I was a bit hesitant to start Cobra Kai. The thought of a series produced by YouTube was a bit off-putting, as well as another streaming service. How would it work bringing back all these characters in a serious narrative? Is this something that can be compelling and work in a soft reboot setting? Within moments of the first episode, and really the establishing first few episodes, the show absolutely works. The first season in particular leans on William Zabka as Johnny. He's still a man trapped in the 80s, behind in technology, lingo, and generally just how to act.
Hey, Sensei, when am I gonna learn to do some kicking? I was watching this YouTube video of this guy breaking boards and it looked badass.
Yeah, no shit. Kicking is badass.
No, we accept boys and girls. Gender what?
He drives the same muscle car, listens to the same rock music. The world has blown past him, leaving behind a shell of a man picking up pieces of a bad marriage and his failure as a parent.
How old is Robbie now? 15, 16? When's the last time you saw him?
Just get the hell out of here, man.
A lot of shows use this 80s background as a nostalgic piece, but here they use it as a crutch, showing a man hiding behind his once happy days, scared to go through his present failures. While Zabka isn't an Academy Award winner, he really does carry this series with a surprising amount of oomph and relatability.
All right, you want my advice? Stop being so annoying. Maybe you'll stop getting your ass kicked.
His rivalry with now semi-series foe Daniel LaRusso becomes flat out intriguing.
It means those friends of hers were wailing on a kid half their size. Now, maybe you don't know your daughter as well as you think you do. Get your house in order, LaRusso.
Who the hell you think you're talking to?
Daniel was a bit of an asshole throughout the movies, but was constantly at the forefront of the film as the protagonist. LaRusso now owns a successful dealership chain, and his fundamental views are a bit lost in his lavish life, big sales, and his needy kids. He, like most of us, is almost the polar opposite of Johnny. Instead of being caught up in the past, he's caught up in the present.
Acting like a responsible parent who cares about his kid.
Okay, we both care about our kid. I just don't think embarrassing Sam in front of her friends is helping matters.
I don't like these new friends.
Instead of valuing what he has and what he's worked for, he almost takes it for granted, and it's easy to see Daniel as a big jerk.
Welcome to Cobra Kai.
Some things never change.
Cobra Kai, as I mentioned, is a soft reboot, and while Johnny and Daniel's rivalry is at center stage, it's now kind of vicariously going through their kids.
Life shows no mercy, so neither do we.
You don't need to fight.
Yes, I do. I'm gonna have to face him sooner or later. Might as well be today.
Instead of Johnny teaching his son, Robbie, to fight Daniel's kids, Daniel is teaching Robbie. Johnny ends up developing a rather touching relationship with a next-door neighbor, Miguel. This odd pairing eventually faces off against Daniel and Robbie in the All Valley Karate Tournament. This twist of predictability keeps the narrative intriguing. Miguel, who starts off as this innocent, bullied kid, soon develops into a bit of a bully. Robbie, who's this dropout with a laundry list of criminal offenses, becomes the good guy. Cobra Kai constantly twists these narratives, keeping you on your toes, engaged, and intrigued.
He is your father. And believe me, you're lucky to have one. You just gotta try to remember he's not a monster. He's just a guy with a lot of demons.
Even when things do get a bit corny.
Speaking of wrong, check out Fuglisha. She looks like she had a picnic table.
Perhaps one of the biggest selling parts of the series to me throughout was this message of empowerment. This is obviously something that's toyed with in the Karate Kid films, and other movies and TV shows really play with it. This believing in yourself, working hard, this self-confidence. It makes a great fighter, a quality person, and a successful human being. Cobra Kai once again twists this narrative once more as Johnny teaches kids the hardened ways he was taught, showing bullied kids they can be something more than just being somebody shoved in a locker. The act of kindness, or at least trying to produce self-confidence, almost backfires, and Johnny soon realizes he's created a gang of jerks.
I know we want to win, but it's got to be the right way. We don't have to fight dirty.
Dirty? There's nothing dirty about winning, Sensei. You taught me that.
Constantly throughout the series, we're reminded of the famed Spider-Man saying, "With great power comes great responsibility."
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
The previously mentioned rivalry between Robbie and Miguel is just that.
Cobra Kai isn't just about karate. It's about a way of life. Take that first lesson.
Don't worry. I got this. No mercy.
Your attachment to Cobra Kai is entirely based on your attachment to the previous films. I, for one, really enjoy the Karate Kid films, even the stupid and silly ones. It doesn't take long to see that Cobra Kai doesn't really take itself too seriously. Sure, the plot can be serious, and things do have a surprisingly dark, real-life stake, but you also have kids doing full-on karate moves in school hallways without any teacher stopping them. People treat this all-valley karate tournament like it's the only thing in the world that matters. I don't know anyone that practices karate, let alone hundreds of people excited to watch it. Does this exist? Anybody let me know if it does, I don't know. Things like that are admittedly kinda goofy, but Cobra Kai just chugs along, more worried about telling compelling character stories than how silly a 10-minute brawl is in a school. Honestly, Cobra Kai remains one of the biggest surprises in recent memory.
Should we get another round?
I don't know. Last time I went 4 rounds with LaRusso, I caught a foot to my face.
It's always entertaining, a bit silly.
Truth. I knew it.
Sometimes punches you right in the gut, and sometimes asks you to take a bit of a leap of faith. Regardless, it's well made and clearly has a lot of love for the source material. You'd be downright silly to pass this one up.